Hey viewers, welcome to another game with Casual Pro Gamer. Once again we are playing Stephano versus, oh come on, TSLPolt, there you go. That could have gone way smoother. Anyway, we are once again playing the same matchup because this is a best of 5. I already cast game 3. I'm not going to spoil that for the people who want to do from game 1 to game 5. Yeah, this is the finals from some kind of assembly winter, I believe, tournament. I don't really care. It is a good finale, so this is pretty hard as a swarm. It's played in 2012, and yeah, as you can see, we have a Zerg versus a Terran, and that is a cool matchup. It's not my favorite. My favorite would be something like Terran versus Protoss or something like that. Terran versus Terran maybe. But I do like it. There's a lot of variation, and I like these two players, by the way. I really do, because they're good friends. They have played against each other, well, many times, because at the point where this is played, these are the two best players in the world, or at least 2 out of the best 3. Kiwikaki being the number 3. And yeah, since then, of course, a lot has happened, and yeah, a lot of players have joined the fray and actually, well, took over their top position. But well, it's really nice to see that these matches are kept in the archives, or some of them at least. And well, they are really appreciated by the fans, so that's why they end up high on the charts. And if they're high on the charts, I cast them. So anyway. We have the standard things coming up. Barracks is coming up for this guy. There is hatchery coming up for the other guy, and that is excellent. We have a fast expansion for the Zerg player. The Zerg player who had been scouting around here with his drone for exactly that reason. He wanted to see what the Terran player was going to do, and all he could see, of course, was that there was a barracks going down and not a super fast command center. But for the rest, he couldn't really see anything. And of course, because the distance on this map is so big, there's really nothing else to do. If you want to get a scout, you need to get active with your drones, because otherwise you're going to be too late to scout what's going on. And yeah, the bunker is coming up, but that is not going to do anything. 3 drones pulled off the line though, and he might actually just kill off the SCV. Oh no, the SCV is going to be fine. But yeah, well, he did take him down to 10 HP. Oh, he's coming back in. He's trying to bait them out. And yeah, there will be a few Zerglings coming out here. Well, in fact, 4 Zerglings coming out. And yeah, that gets cancelled. But he did make sure that there was a little bit more of a production of Zerglings. There are 4 out where normally there would only be 2 produced. So that makes that investment worth it, because, well, he lost 25 minerals and the Zerg invested 50. So, yeah, well, of course he had to pull off an SCV and blah blah blah. So it's not like he actually got anything out of it that was game breaking. But yeah, well, it's nice. It's nice to have at least some pressure up to make sure that your enemies cannot just do whatever the hell they please. As you can see, Spinecrawler is coming up, making sure that he has a good defense in the well, in the front part of his base. He's going to have a few troops behind it, like a few Zerglings, or at least he can produce them by the time they, well, the enemies get there, because, well, he does have a Zergling scout over here. The Zerglings are scouting everywhere just to make sure that nothing is happening that, well, that he can't spot. He does spot these Hellions coming in. And the Hellions are going to run into Spinecrawler plus Queen. Not going to be happy about that, because obviously they're not very strong against that. But, well, the Queen is just here for the spawn larvae. They're not going to be... well, she's not going to do anything aggressive against these Hellions. She doesn't want to be aggressive. But by now, as you can see, next Queen came out. So we are going to get some creep spread, which means that our 2 bases are going to be connected. And more importantly, we're going to start the creep spread towards the enemy base. Automaton 2000 wants to have a look around. He's so cute. these little map artifacts are so cute. Anyhow, we do have a pretty big army of Zerglings starting to well, to group up here. But the Zerglings are not very good against this amount of Hellions. Well, they're not good against any amount of Hellions. But at least against like 1 or 2, they can still surround that and do pretty well. But here comes the attack. He's going to try to take out this Spine Crawler. The Spine Crawler is very low. Is it going to live? 27 HP left. And that is good enough. Obviously losing a few Zerglings there. But that's fine. He will need to build a new Spine Crawler though, because this one is going to go down the next time. Well, unless he actually wants to spend the energy on that. Well, the Queens can transfuse it, and well, it did get transfused once there. But yeah, he still needs to heal up 140 health on that before that is actually back to full health. And yeah, that was a kind of failed attack. The Terran player not really using or losing that much, but also not getting a whole lot of kills in that. So yeah, it's kind of an equal trade. So let's see the income. No, that's not the investments I wanted to have. Spending, that's what it's called. So as you can see, losing a few Zerglings there. So the spending currently, yeah, more army obviously for the Zerg player, but way more technology for, economy for the Zerg player. The army and the technology in the favor of the Terran player. Which means, in short, that if the Terran player attacks now, he has the best chance of winning. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, so if he keeps sitting back and just, well, waits for the later stages of the game, that is not going to work out for him, because the Zerg player has much better cards for that, for that last, well, big army. He has way more invested in technology already, which means that he can actually, well, get to higher stages of the technology and get some like roaches out or whatever. I don't know what he's going to build. He's going to build investors, it seems. Evolution chambers already out. No roaches coming out though. And roaches would be, well, great against the Hellions, but not against these guys. The economy, of course, going to get ruined here because this base is going to go down. Let's see. No, it's just one worker killed, so there were no workers yet here. It seemed that way, but just wanted to make sure. And the Zerglings are going to run back to the main army, of course. The Terran army is just sitting back, just waiting for the next opportunity when new Hellions come in or something like that. Oh, no, just going to be Marines. But it's going to be Marines versus Zerglings, and that is not going the way the Zerglings want that to go. Because, yeah, the Marines can just lift off in those medevacs and do fine. Wow, losing 3 Zerglings there for no reason at all. And we will see if that actually works out this time. Because the next army is coming in. The next army. Oh, he's going to snipe this once again. Yeah, there's no way that the Zerg player can actually defend this. He can, however, defend this, it seems. At least he's going to attempt. He can't actually defend that at all. This is going to have to be very sneaky. He's going to open up the destructible debris, because that gives him a little better chance of survival for that base, but really it is very risky. The Zerglings all going to help out here, and they're going to take this down as quickly as possible. As I said, it's still not giving him a very good chance, but at least it gives him some chance of defending this base when it's under attack. But in general, he just has to be lucky that it doesn't get scouted. In the meantime, a third orbital command coming up. And yeah, just 3 bases for the Terran player versus 3 bases for the Zerg player. That is definitely in the advantage of the Terran player. It is, however, going to be the Zerg player who has the biggest army for the moment roaming the map. The Terran player is sitting back in his base with his siege tanks deployed and things like that. Bunker, And this is going to be a sensor. No, a missile turret, actually. I kind of assumed it would be a sensor tower. But yeah, just making sure that he has all of his bases covered there. And here is the marine attack on this base. It's not going to do anything yet, though. Is he just scouting around? He may actually just be scouting around. I don't know. It seems that the Terran player is well aware that there might be a base there. And as you can see, the Zergling got sniped, which means the Zerg player now knows that there's an army up there. He doesn't know how big it is, because he can't actually see it. But he is going to rush in and try to surround it. But this is not going to be a very good fight. Oh, wow, it actually worked out. Because there were no medevacts. Probably used the stim pack. And yeah, he did get surrounded fully. That is true. I kind of didn't take that into account. But yeah, he did get surrounded on both sides. So not just on the front side. And oh, these Zerglings are all going to die to these siege tanks. He needs to make sure that he doesn't make that mistake. Because if he runs into like 1 or 2 siege tanks, he's going to lose that entire army. And obviously going to place some Zerglings all across the map just to get some vision. And wow, coming in over here, there's the sensor tower, by the way. So he was keeping track of the enemy movements. And going into the enemy base here, completely catching him off guard. But he is going to sacrifice a whole lot of resources to do this. Well, not so much sacrifice, but invest. And of course, because this siege tank is not sieged, it's not going to be very effective against these units. Finally, one of the supply depots goes down. Second one is going to go down as well. And yeah, they are going to do some damage at least, but not enough to actually... well, not enough to make it worth it, I think. But not enough to make the Terran very scared. You lose a couple of investors, which is... yeah, kind of a shame, because they are very expensive. He ran them in way too far forward, even though they were out of energy. And he's going to keep 3. Seems that he has 3 left for the next attack. They're going to heal up some energy. And let's see if this Terran player now has a good attack back on this. It seems he does have a plan here. And the plan is going to be to just... yeah, attack everything that he sees while setting up this, well, this big line of tanks. Going to pull the back ones from their deployed position and put them in a more forward position. Wow, so many tanks go down here to just the Zerglings, and that means that the Ultralists are going to do great here. But there are Marauders out. Marauders are very good against these Ultralists. And they are going to get punished pretty heavily. But, well, they are going to go down eventually, because there aren't a massive amount of them. Oh, yeah, the one siege tank coming up, but it's not sieged. This one's also not sieged, so it's going to do way less damage. But eventually it gets cleared up, and yeah, well, everything is good again for the Terran player. I don't know, however, how many units he has lost, because it seems that he's just throwing in, well, his units one by one, and that is of course not how you want to do that as a Terran player. You want to make that Terran ball not like the Protoss. The Protoss can run in with single units and still do damage. The Terran really wants to group up his units in a ball and make sure that that ball is protected, and well, run in with the entire ball and then, well, kill people with the entire ball. As you can see, 3 medevacts doing nothing over there. I was just wondering which units were in the middle of the fight, or in the middle of the enemy zone, I should say. But it was not important. As you can see, the tanks are doing hefty damage, but not enough to make this work. Yeah, the Zerglings finally breached the base, and this is going to be very hard to compete with, because, well, so many Zerglings are going to stream in a moment. Here they come. The Zerglings are coming in. The investors are coming in. And yeah, there is no front base defense. And that means that this left base here is going to go down. It's already out of workers. But he can pick that off whenever he wants. The fungal growth goes down. And there comes the GG. There was really nothing holding him back. But this was all... It was all... hang on, this is units lost. As you can see, it's pretty much equal. But because the Zerg player has more bases up, he actually won this. That's the way Zerg works. This was the one I wanted to talk about. The Zerg player investing way more in economy, which meant that the late game was going to be his. So early game, the army for the Terran player was bigger. The technology for the Terran was bigger. Now the combined amount is pretty much equal. And that's because with that economy investment, he actually made it work in the late game. So he had to hold off that early push. But when he held that off, it was basically over for the Terran. Because the Zerg player can then just, well, turn that around, make an equal army, and then because he has a better economy, he can actually make that army bigger. And here you can see that 1900 minerals income versus 720, pretty much equal gas. A little bit higher, of course, for the Zerg player because he has 2 more bases. But, well, all in all, that worked out really well. It seems that I missed this base going down, but that's alright. And I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.